Hello, Cancer. Welcome to my channel. It is such a blessing to be here with you. So thank you so very much for being here with me for your September 2023 Tarotscope. In the description box below, you will find links to all sorts of goodies. You will also find a timestamp if you would like to jump to the start of your reading. Please do keep in mind that this is a collective reading, not a personal reading, so only take what resonates with you and leave the rest. You may find that looking into the Tarotscopes for your sun, moon, and rising provide for you deeper insights to this month. And as a matter of fact, I'm encouraging all of the signs to do that if they feel called to do so, because September is a universal 7 month, and it is a number. The number 7 is often thought of as a spiritual seeker or wise sage energy on the quest for deep inner knowledge. And this month, we're being encouraged to slow down, dive deep into ourselves, and reflect on our soul's desires and our purpose. We're also being asked to seek divine wisdom in solitude and stillness and allow it to move you, right? Which is very interesting because as I was shuffling for you, Cancer, the Astro alignment deck, I did see Vesta several times, like could not ignore it several times. And on that card is written inner spark, sacrifice, and devotion. For some of you, I feel as though there is this energy of, how do I say this? So it's being shown to me as like reaching for that inner spark, but like for some reason or another, like never quite being able or feeling as though you can't grab it, right? Like it's just out of your reach. And this again is incredibly fascinating for me because I did see the Hanged Man as well several times as I was shuffling the tarot. And the Hanged Man, interestingly enough, is that energy, whether so in the upright, it is an energy of new perspectives and reflection and self-sacrifice. Okay. In the reverse, which I saw it both ways, it is an energy, or can be, of stalling, avoiding sacrifice, and not seeing results of some of the work you've done, the hard work you've done. And so for some of you, I feel as though it may feel like that inner spark that you maybe once had and have lost, or maybe you felt like you've never had it at all, is just out of your reach because there are things that you need to let go of in order to recognize it within yourself. Okay. Again, like that may not resonate with everyone, but for some of you, it is about, again, just releasing some of these things. And when we look at sacrifice, in some cases, these are like people or jobs or, things that we have in like the physical world. But in other cases, it is belief systems, traumas, woundings, thought patterns, right? Certain things that we are holding within and don't want to let go of or are fearing, right? So I feel as though this month for you could be asking you to reflect on what that might be, if you resonate with this, and allowing yourself, once you find the answers, to release that. Okay? Again, take it as it resonates. Maybe it doesn't resonate with everyone, and that's perfectly okay. But, I feel as though you may always feel like you're not quite there until you allow yourself to release whatever's holding you back from acknowledging that spark within yourself. Okay? Let's dive into the cards and see what comes through for you. Please, Father, Mother, Life, Universe, Spirits, Guides, Angels, our cosmic team, our ancestors, our higher selves, what is the overall energy for Cancer for September 2023, please? Wow, that was fast. If Cancer slows down and listens to their souls, okay, thank you. That was going to be, if you slow down and listen to your soul's or God's callings, what might you hear? How could integrating what Cancer learns help them to bring clarity, stability, and or structure to their path, purpose, and life, please? Okay. And what wisdom do your ancestors, angels, guides, Spirit, Source, the Universe, God most want to share with you, Cancer, as you move forward? Thank you. I'm going to ask for your patience and understanding, Cancer. Using this deck, they are circular, and this is a brand new experience for me. So I really do appreciate the grace as I shuffle these cards. Tell us more, please, about the overall energy for Cancer for September 2023. Okay, interesting. Tell us more, please, if Cancer slows down and listens. Yep, thank you. Tell us more, please. How could integrating, there it is, thank you. And tell us more, please, what wisdom, oh, there they are. Okay, anything we may have missed or need to know about the overall energy for September 2023 for Cancer? Thank you. Yep. Anything we need to know or may have missed? It's not even getting the question out. My gosh. Anything we need to know or may have missed on how integrating what Cancer learns? Thank you. And anything else we need to know or may have missed on the wisdom that Cancer's angels, guides? Thank you. Okay, jumpy chatty cards for you, Cancer. Let's dive in. The overall energy for you this month. Priestess, how are you being called to step up and lead? Yeah, it really feels as though so what's really interesting about this, Cancer, is that a lot of the cards that have shown up in this position so far have been questions. Because again, it's that 7 energy, I feel, where we are being called to be introspective. Not only that, but we have so many planets in retrograde, which all call for us to reanalyze, reflect, reorganize, reevaluate, right? It's all that kind of re-energy. And so, it's really no surprise that this is here, but I feel as though the overall energy for you is to, and I say this with so much love, for you to take the lead role in your life. Okay? For you to take the lead role in the movie, if you will, that is your life. Because I feel as though there are some of you who would resonate with you putting yourself on the back burner. Or feeling like you don't have time for you, or you're not doing what you would love to do. And so I feel like there's this energy here for some of you where it's like, I need to be the main character in my own life. I need to be more devoted to what I feel called to, right? Because I do feel like for some of you, you have been sacrificing parts of yourself for other people. Now, don't get me wrong, I still very much feel that there are sacrifices that could be made, where there's a need to let go of some things that simply are not serving you, okay, that you're holding on to. However, I'm getting fear coming up as well. There are, I feel, sacrifices that you have made for other people. Okay, so it feels to me that the overall energy or theme for you as we start out this month, or as we move through this month, is discovering and figuring out what it's going to take for you to be the main character in your own life, and to be devoted to that, to put yourself in a position where you are exactly that. And I'm saying this with so much love, Cancer, because I know many of you are very supportive and nurturing and compassionate and loving. It's just in your nature. But you have to give some of that to yourself. Okay? You have to give that back to yourself. And there are, I feel, a good handful of you who neglect that. Okay, you may find that you're running around doing all of these things for all of these other people, and it is probably people that you love very deeply and care deeply for and want to support. 1111 on the timer. But this is a opportunity for you to give that back to yourself, and it's necessary for your well-being to do so. Okay, so again, take it as it resonates, but that's what I'm feeling coming through. Let's see what else we have here for you. Oh yeah, come on. You literally showing up for yourself. This is what this month is about. Like I said, being the main character in your own story. Cancer, nurturing, sensitive, caring. Yeah, right? Giving some of this back to yourself. I feel like there are some of you who make really great leaders, truly. Right? Outside of yourself. Okay? Like, I feel that there are some of you who would resonate very deeply with, being a leader in the sense that you're always there for other people. You're always there to be compassionate and show love and to, support other people. I mean, it's a very beautiful energy, if I'm being quite honest. But I feel like you're being called to show up for yourself. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the timer. This is part of your evolution, right? It's beautiful that you are so giving and loving to other people, but this is a call for you to give that to yourself. I know it's going to sound very repetitive, but I mean, for goodness sakes, it's like, show up for yourself. Support and nurture yourself. Give that love to yourself. It's time. If you notice, I mean, yes, we're talking about a leader here, or leading, okay? But there's nobody else in this card but this woman. No other people. Because I feel like in order to be a good leader, you also have to take care of you. Because if you don't, and your well-being suffers, how could you lead other people? You can't. Right? And actually, I'm being reminded of a conversation I had recently with a friend. And I had this kind of, I don't know if you want to call it an epiphany, but I had this knowledge drop into my lap, rather a question. And it went something like this. What good does it do for you to put your well-being at risk by, catering to others and giving to others and sacrificing for others and, all of these things, if it creates dis-ease, illness, if it threatens your well-being, your health? What good is that? Because if you are, or find yourself ill and all of these things, or, in some cases, that stress, that overwhelm, that, neglect of self leads to death. There are cases that happens. people have heart attack or, whatever it is. So it's like taking care of yourself, giving to yourself, nurturing yourself, caring for yourself, loving yourself, filling up your own cup, taking care of your well-being, mind, body, spirit, allows you to continue to do good in the world, allows you to continue to share that compassion, to be supportive, to be loving, and to spread that. Whereas if you neglect yourself time after time after time after time, and you fall ill, and sometimes in ways that could be detrimental to you, then you're not able to do good for anyone. And what is the point of that? It's just a question that I felt like I should bring to your attention. Yeah, you have here the Queen of Swords, right? This is getting very honest with yourself. Okay? Getting very honest with yourself. Because I think some of you have learned through experience. I think some of you have given and given and given and given and given. And I feel like you have experienced it for yourself, what that can do to your well-being. Okay? I feel as though the overall energy for you this month is to get very honest about the role you are playing in your own life, and if you are indeed the lead in your own life or not. I mean, I keep looking at this card, and to me, first of all, she's getting very, she looks as though she's thinking, right? And the Queen of Swords is this energy of like clear-mindedness, right? But in a very honest, clear-minded and honest. So I feel like you're being asked to get very clear and to be very honest with yourself, and to, again, take the lead in your own life and nurture yourself. Be caring and loving to yourself in all ways. This is not just about, oh, I'm getting enough sleep at night, or, oh, I got a shower in today, or I'm wearing clean clothes, or, I'm going to work and providing for myself, or whatever it is. Like, no, this is actually about caring for more than just your physical self, though that's also important. This is also about you caring and nurturing your soul, your mind, your heart, right? What brings you to life, that inner spark, okay? So I feel this is definitely the overall energy for you this month, and certainly something that's calling for your attention. If you slow down, she's pondering here in the Queen of Swords. If you slow down and listen to your souls and God's callings, what might you hear? Yep. Boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? Like I said, you may be giving and giving and giving to all of these other people or all of these other things in your experience, but not giving back to yourselves in the way that is fulfilling to your soul, to your heart, to your being. And I'm not saying that you don't ever do something that you want to do, but I feel as though for some of you, this could be very fleeting. Okay, so like one moment it's like, okay, I'm doing what I want to do, but I only get to do it for like 5 minutes or for a couple of hours or something. It's not a consistent thing where you're giving back to yourself regularly. It's like, oh, I have 5 minutes here, I'm going to grab it. And I guess it's better than nothing, but the truth is I feel like what you might hear if you slow down and really listen to your soul is the need for boundaries. Like, no, I have to say no, you have to do this yourself, or you have to call somebody else. Like, it's nothing personal, and I love you and I care for you, but right now I have to take care of me. Right now I have to do this thing for myself. You are just as important as everyone else in your life. You deserve the love and care and nurturing and support from yourself that you give to everyone else. And so it makes sense that if you slow down, you might hear your intuition, your soul, God saying, we need boundaries here. It's time. You also have psyche, soul, consciousness, mind. Yeah, because you have to take care of yourself. You have to take care of your soul, your heart, your mind, your spirit. Like, these things need your attention, right? It's a beautiful thing to give to others. But if you are not nurturing yourself, you're gonna not be, I mean, you can't keep doing that. You won't be able to keep doing that. And I know, right? I wish we could save the world. You know, we like to think that we could do it all by ourselves and we could just go, 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 and we don't need nothing in return, but that's not true. Okay? So it makes so much sense, these cards coming through. You have the Page of Pentacles as well here. And, you know, so here's the thing about this energy. First of all, I feel like this is a message from your body. I'm just going to be quite frank. That Pentacle energy can certainly be about your health and your physical self. And I feel as though this is a message that it needs your attention. But this can also be that craving of something different, something new, right? It can be those desires that you have. So part of this, I feel, you may hear, if you get honest with yourself, that calling of your soul for a new experience, like to, how would I say, to implement new ways of being where you do have these boundaries and you are caring for your soul, your consciousness, your mind, your heart, your body, your spirit, like all the things. Right? Interesting. There's lots of numbers coming up for you. You guys may want to look some of these up, but I just saw 2222 on the timer because I feel like there's a need for balance in your experience. I mean, that goes without saying, but it's there nonetheless. I also feel here like that this is, you may, there, I feel like you would hear this call for you to be diligent. Okay? Diligent in the boundaries you create for your well-being. It's just very interesting to me because I'm being very drawn to the fact that she's standing on one foot and she's not even on her own foot, like she's standing on a root. Okay. But I'm drawn to the fact that she's standing on one foot, and there's this energy of like you can only stand out of balance for so long, if that makes sense. Right? You need that balance in your experience. I actually want to jump into the Astro Alignment deck and read more about this Psyche energy for you, just to give a little bit more insight. Okay, so again, this is if you slow down and listen to your soul's or God's callings, what might you hear? Psyche is known as the goddess of the soul and is related to psychology and the study of the unconscious mind. Psyche represents the trials and tribulations you go through to test your faith in love, truth, and beliefs. Psyche can illustrate how you choose to pursue and understand your psychology through the lens of love. To what lengths will you go for love? The challenges you face in pursuit of love can test your loyalty, commitment, ego, and trust. Psyche can be the candle lighting the way forward, but the journey relies greatly on your faith. Love has the ability to transform your soul, and Psyche sheds the light on how this part of you is expressed. But I want to be very clear. Love is not just about other people, right? Now, that's not to say that you shouldn't be loving other people, or, that how would we say, that you wouldn't face challenges um, in love, in your love of other people, right? Or that you should just give up on other people or anything like that. But it is, I feel, I'm getting a lot of fear, pardon me. I feel like this is also, right? Because it says, Psyche represents the trials and tribulations, my goodness, you go through to test your faith in love, truth, and beliefs. So I do feel as though for some of you, and I certainly don't feel like everyone will relate to this, but for some of you, I feel like there's this question that comes to mind of, what if I focus more on me? What if I say no? Right? If I do that, are the people that I'm giving my love to, that I'm supporting and caring for and nurturing, going to like abandon me? Are they going to reject me? Are they going to, label me as disloyal? Right? There's, for some of you, I feel like there's this fear. It's like, if I focus on me, if I say no, if I'm, like, listen, I need to do something for me. And maybe that something is freaking laying on your couch. I don't know. But if it's, I need to do something for me, and you say that to those that you have been nurturing and supporting and caring for, are they going to retaliate? Are they going to accept that? Are they going to return that same love, support to you? I think there's a fear there around that. And, if that is true for you, if you resonate with that, then that is something that I feel may need your attention this month. Right? That there may need to be conversations that take place around that, where truth is expressed. Because again, I feel the overall energy for you is showing up for yourself. Right? Taking care of yourself and creating boundaries so that you can pursue the things you want, the desires that you have. So how could integrating what you learn during this slowing down and listening help to bring clarity, stability, and or structure to your path, purpose, and life? You have to take a break, a life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill. Like I said, for some of you, this is like literally backing up, giving back to yourself, filling your own cup. I feel as though it could be bringing, really, it feels as though balance, right? This is how I'm seeing this. It's like you cannot keep dumping. You can't pour from an empty cup, Cancer. And I feel like this is being made very clear to you. If you are somebody who, resonates. And I feel as though integrating this energy could get you into this space of being where you are creating boundaries because you understand that you cannot do that. And there's this acknowledgement that if you keep going at that pace, you will run yourself ragged. You will run yourself into the ground. And I feel as though that could certainly bring balance into your life. And I feel as though it could help you to be more you, to feel better in your own body. I don't know why, but there's a lot of like health kind of things that are coming into my experience, or rather coming into my field. You also have here, keepers of the earth, you are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. So here's the thing. I feel as though for some of you, Cancer, you're a water sign. So it's very likely that you have some level of intuitive awareness about you, right? But I feel as though for some of you, it may feel fleeting, or, it's here and then it's not, and that sort of thing. And I feel as though if that resonates with you, it's likely because you're like running yourself, or like draining your own energy. And then if you tried to connect, it's like you have nothing. You don't have the energetic capacity to do that. If that makes sense. It feels like there's this imbalance. And so you're unable to tap into those intuitive abilities with any sense of clarity. But that doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that you're alone, right? It's just a matter of like seeing past the illusion. And I feel that I feel like some of you feel alone physically, like in your experience. And that's not to say that you are. That's not to say that you don't have family or friends or whatever. But I feel like some of you feel alone. Um, I feel like you may feel like you're always the caregiver. You're always taking care of others, but maybe you find that others don't care for you in the same way. Um, and you may feel as though, you know, maybe you can't really talk about some of these things or something. And this is showing up, I feel, to let you know that you're not alone. And if you integrate this energy, I feel like you will see that, because a lot of what's been coming through is this energy of having that support in the, angelic realm, through our guides, our ancestors, through Christ, God, however you resonate. And even in my membership, this has been coming up over and over and over again. So I feel as though there's this big kind of neon sign that's going off for most, where it's like you're not alone. You're not doing these things alone. As a matter of fact, you have a tremendous amount of support, but it is going to require you to get quiet enough to hear it. It's going to require you to kind of turn the noise off, if you will, and be still enough to let it come in, to take that time. And certainly, if you are constantly on the go, if you are constantly worrying about other people, if you are constantly, looking at your to-do list and all of the things that you're doing to nurture and support and care for and love other people, and giving none of that back to yourself, taking none of that time for yourself, you're not going to be able to hear any of that. For some of you, you may be having a lot of dreams, and I feel like your dreams are trying to tell you what you are unable to hear intuitively. We have the subconscious showing up here, and I feel as though for some of you, they're like, your subconscious is like running rampant at night, because there's this disconnect, right? There's this imbalance and there's so much going on during your waking hours where you're unable to tap into your intuition, or can't, or won't, or whatever the story. And so at night, it's like your subconscious is just going. It's trying to tell you all the things that you're not hearing during the day. Because you have the moon here. You have the moon here as well, right? And I feel as though these messages are trying to come through. So you integrating this energy, or integrating what you learn when you get quiet, if you're able to do that, and slow down and turn off the noise, I feel as though you could be gaining clarity on like, hey, you really have got to slow down, and why, and how that's impacting your experience, how that is showing up in your life, because of, the fact that you're not giving back to yourself, you're not filling your own cup, you're not taking care of your well-being. I also feel as though, you could also get this kind of clarity, if you will, or this, you may be able to acknowledge or see that you aren't alone, that there are beings, ancestors, angels, guides, who are trying to communicate with you, just not in ways that you maybe would expect, because it's like it's the only way that they can. They're trying to communicate communicate with you in the only way that they know how. And for some of you, that's your dreams, because it's the only time that you're not going a million miles an hour. Holy biscuits. Yeah, you have, I mean, come on now. You have no. Wait, postpone, pause, say no. So this showed up in the exact same position for Gemini. So if you have Gemini in your chart, your big three, you may want to check that out. But you have boundaries. I mean, literally, and take a break, a life's work, not a season, get off the treadmill. I feel like integrating this is, you could literally find yourself bringing this stability into your experience, or this balance into your experience, by saying no, by slowing down. Because if you are go, 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 and you're always saying yes, when do you have the time to give back to you? Like, really give back to you, where it is just you. Like, do you meditate? Do you pray? Do you do some yoga? I mean, what journal, whatever the case is, I feel like there's a big call here for you to develop a practice where it is just you time. Maybe you talk to your family or, those around you and say, listen, every week at this time, from this time to this time, don't bother me. Don't call me. Don't yell for me. Don't ask me to do anything, because that is me time. Maybe it's every day. I don't know. Whatever works for you, right? But I definitely feel that integrating this could have you saying no, because there's a need for you to focus on yourself and to be the main character in your own story. And I feel if you listen to what is coming through for you and you integrate it, you will find yourself saying no much more. And there's nothing wrong with that. It is perfectly okay to say no. In Cancer, I love ya. I love you guys. You're such beautiful souls. But this comes up so often in your guys' readings. And there's so many times where I just want to be like, will you please just love yourself? Because you deserve it. And it makes my heart sad. Right? Like, I want to hug you. I want to give you that love. But it's like, you have to give that to yourself. You also have Leo, courageous, regal, and loyal. Yeah. Integrating this information and recognizing the importance of boundaries, recognizing how detrimental it is to your health to ignore yourself, and integrating that information could have you having a whole lot more courage and just saying, nope, I'm not doing it. Because here's the thing, right? Leo energy is that energy of like a leader. Okay. And courage, of course. But like I was saying, a true leader has to take care of themselves in order to lead. And they know that. Right? So I feel as though this is, integrating this information could have you finding yourself being far more courageous and loyal, not just to the people you love, but to yourself as well, because there's an understanding and acknowledgement that if you don't take care of you, you cannot lead others. Right? And I'm leaving it there. You also have here 4 of Pentacles. I mean, I'm just going to be honest, you guys. I feel like some of y'all need to get stingy. Some of y'all need to be frugal with your energy, because you have to save some of it for yourself. Right? I feel like, I mean, I mean, you have the Pentacles here showing up again. And I feel as though, again, like the 4 of Pentacles can be this like frugal kind of energy, this conservation type of energy. And I feel like if you integrate what you hear when you get quiet, you will find yourself getting off that treadmill, saying no, because you understand how freaking important it is for you to conserve your energy, to be frugal with it, to not just be giving it out left and right like freaking Halloween candy. Okay? You are not a 7-Eleven. There are times that you need to just step back to conserve your own energy. And I want to lovingly say now, first of all, I am not a doctor. I cannot give medical advice, and I won't. But if you have been experiencing health issues and you're like, what is happening? Your body could be trying to tell you, hey, sweets, you need to give back to you, because God will knock you on your ass to make you pay attention to yourself, because you're that valuable and you're that important. And God loves you that much that God will just sit down for a minute, because you are no good to God or anyone else if you're dead. I say that with so much love, Cancer, right? Sometimes, like, we have to get that flick on the freaking forehead so that we can wake up. And I feel like the message coming through here for you, if you resonate with this, is you have got to. It is not an option. You have got to take care of yourself, because if you're dead, you can do nothing. If you run yourself so far into the ground that you're buried in it, you cannot help anyone. God cannot use you, cannot use your love and your compassion and your care for people if you're not here. I mean, I'm just the messenger, you guys. So I'm sure there's going to be people who do not want to hear this, but it is what it is. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I refuse. Okay. For those of you who are still here and haven't bolted, because you despise me now, the wisdom your angels, guides, ancestors, spirit source, universe, God most want to share with you as you move forward. You have warrior woman. Have you answered your deepest calling? Now, whether you are male or female is irrelevant. The question is more important. Okay? Have you answered your deepest calling? For some of you, you are always the warrior, always going out to fight battles for other people. But are you answering your own? Are you dealing with your own battles? Are you addressing your own battles? I don't know why that's coming up that way. I don't know that I've ever actually got it come up that way for this card. For some of you, there's a need to cut cords, chop, chop, snip, snip. Because some of you are neglecting that, going to war, if you will, or going into battle for other people. I truly feel that this wisdom is because you have, how are you being called to step up and lead, and have you answered your deepest calling? I feel as though, you know, the focus for you this month is to really get introspective and to find out, are you doing what you love to do? Are you doing what your soul is calling you to do? Now, I feel like for some of you, the answer may bring fear. Even seeking the answer may bring fear for some of you, but it doesn't make it any less true. And I feel like the wisdom that is wanting to be most shared with you right now is finding the answers to these two questions. You have 11th house Aquarius, collaboration, memberships, network. Like I said, I actually feel like I want to read from the book for this card for you, but I feel as though part of the wisdom coming through here is, how much of yourself are you giving to others over yourself? Is it like 80-20? You're getting 20%? Is it 90-10? 95-5? Right? How much of yourself are you giving to all of these other things? And maybe they're things you feel, are your responsibility. But let's take a deeper dive and let's talk about this energy a little bit more deeply. Okay, so again, this is the wisdom that all of your spiritual team, including God, want to most share with you. The 11th house is where you can tap into your network, collaborations, and communities. This branches out beyond the local communities encompassed in the 3rd house and extends to organizations you belong to and followers on the internet. The 11th house designates your social standing within your web of social networks, both tangible and virtual. Dreams are not realized alone, and you can achieve them through the help of others. The signs in this house can also show you how you relate to others and the groups you are attracted to joining. You are the sum of those you choose to surround yourself with. So make sure they are people, who support your big dreams. Yeah, this is you needing as much support for what it is you feel called to do in your life as others ask of you to support them. Okay? So I feel as though, you know, for those of you who have people in your life who are not going to support you in what you feel is your deepest calling, you may want to reconsider their standing in your life. I'm just saying. And I say it with so much love because it's nothing personal, right? It's nothing personal. You can love somebody tremendously. And if they cannot support you in your deepest calling, what will make you so incredibly happy and fulfilled in your experience, they are not for you. I don't care how long you've known them, how much you love them. They don't have to reciprocate that. And the people that you have in your experience, you deserve that reciprocation, right? You deserve people who are going to support your deepest calling. I don't care if you want to be a rodeo clown. Whatever that deepest calling is for you, right? You deserve that same support that you're giving to other people. You also have here lunar eclipse, culmination, release, illumination. Yeah, I believe as well this, I'm pretty sure this showed up, but I know both of these cards and the no card, pretty sure showed up for Gemini. So again, if you have Gemini in your chart, in your big 3, or maybe you have heavy Gemini, you may want to look a little deeper into that reading, or look at that reading as well. But you have lunar eclipse, culmination, release, illumination. I feel as though, part of this wisdom is being shared with you to illuminate some of the things that you may have been wanting to. What's interesting is I feel like some of you have been looking at it like my sons look for the ketchup in the fridge. Like, I don't see it. It's right there in front of your face. I don't see it. Like, you don't want to see it. It's almost like if I don't see it, if I pretend like it's not there, it's not there. Well, that's not true. Right? So I feel as though part of what's coming through here for you is being illuminated for that reason, because it's like you need to see it. It is imperative for you to see it. And I also feel like for some of you, there are some things that you're a part of that you have taken on, and you've taken on far too much already, that needs to be released. I mean, we do have collaboration memberships network, and I feel like for some of you, there's a need to release some of that because I feel like it's weighing heavily on you, or on your energy, and is not allowing you to align with your truth because it's creating, it's too busy type of thing, right? It's creating too much noise in your experience. And I feel as though if you are neglecting yourself and continuing to give to these external things, you know, I mean, that's going to come to a head at some point. There's no way around it. And I feel like this is kind of your wake up call type of thing. You have here the Knight of Wands. And I feel as though part of the wisdom that's coming through is for you to fearlessly take action. Fearlessly take action. Right? Confidently pursue what you are passionate about. Nights are about motion. This is not about sitting on your hands and just waiting. This is, I feel, about you seeing things for what they are. And what I find very interesting is you have the Queen of Swords here, okay, and the Warrior Woman. Now, again, it doesn't matter if you're male or female, but notice that sword energy. So I feel as though part of this here is that truth, right? Is that truth. And what's very interesting, Cancer, is it just started like downpouring right now as I'm filming this. And I feel as though that's a sign as well. Okay. Because I feel as though there is a need for you to nourish and nurture and water yourself. Take that how it resonates with you, but very interesting. But again, with that, those two swords energies showing up, Warrior Woman and Queen of Swords, I feel like this is about you being very honest, and taking action to pursue what you're passionate about, what you feel called to. And, you know, even if you're leaving things behind, to see that as a brand new adventure. One where you are showing up for yourself, where you are the main character in your story, and you're no longer sitting on the sidelines watching life go by without ever feeling like fulfilled, like really, really fulfilled. I mean, to the brim, overflowing fulfilled. Not like, oh, this is good. Like, I'm happy, it's fine. But where you're like, oh my gosh, this is so great. Right? So I pray that something here has resonated for you, Cancer. If it has, please do the YouTube things by liking, sharing, commenting below, or subscribing. It really does help the channel to grow, and I truly, truly do appreciate it so very much. I pray that you have a month where you are nurturing and caring for and loving yourself as deeply as you love and nurture and care for others. I pray that you're able to show up for yourself confidently and to create boundaries that are going to allow you to take care of yourself and to ignite that inner spark to something blinding to others. Have a beautiful month. Take care of your loving, loyal, beautiful soul. Peace be with you and within you. And I hope to see you on the next one. Bye.